Hello and welcome to this week's episode of My CP Does Not Define Me, where we focus less on the this and more on the ability of what we can do. Join us each and every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, live on the Disability Global Broadcast, Facebook Live, and LetGoRadio.net. Looking forward to seeing you there.
What's up, everybody? It's D to the J with a roll away, and it is Wednesday at 7:01. Actually, I was having a problem with my Apple Music for a second and trying to get it fixed, and I'm like, oh crap, it's 7 o'clock. I got to go live, and now I am, and we're here for episode 113. We're live on LetGoRadio.net, and we're live on the Disability Global Broadcast, and I am your host with the most, your radio personality, as it were. D to the J with the roll away. I'd like to welcome everybody as you come into the show. Hey, Cindy, how are you? Now, I was working to get this show in, and I got a chance to go back to some of my old YouTube files that I listened to when I years and years ago, and I came across one um, with Jim Carrey as a speaker from his from his alumni, where he graduated from as well. And he was speaking to the graduating class of 2015. And in listening to that 30-minute speech from a man that is a comedian, an actor, been all over the world and done all sorts of things, very close with Robin Williams before he passed away, very influential in Robin Williams' career as well. I learned a lot from him, and I've seen this speech several times, but I wanted to do this show on basically how we look at things, but more broad than that, and more specific than that is how we look at our lives as individuals. Okay, now before I talk about anything with disabilities or not or anything like that, the one thing that I want to point out is this is not just about disabilities. This is about life. This is about anybody that is sitting out there right now going, I just don't get it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't figure this out. This is about what are you looking at in the life that you have. Now, here's the thing. To kind of simplify this a little bit, there's a couple of ways that I've been defined. Okay, now when I say that, I'm defined as, you ever heard the expression, are you a glass half empty or glass half full kind of person? So if you think about it, what makes you a glass half empty, glass half full type of person? What is it that makes you who you are? Well, how you determine how your life is going to go, how you determine how your life is going to be, and how you determine who and what you are, it goes without saying, because every day that you wake up, every day that you do things, every day that you experience things, it is your life. And I've said this several times before, and people, I don't think they grasp this as well as some should. Your life is nobody else's. Nobody has to live their life for anybody else but them. Okay? The effort that we put into our lives is the effort that we're going to get out of it. Now, how we look, hey, there he is, Big Flint. What's going on, brother? I tell you, I look at this and I'm going, okay, to hammer this home, Jim Carrey said something very powerful. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. Now, he said, I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I'm going to say why I say this. See, our only limitations in our lives are the limits that we put on ourselves. We are limitless individuals as to who and what we are as people. Okay? I'm not just a radio personality. I don't just host a radio show. I grasp at something much bigger than a radio show by itself. It's not just a topic that I'm talking about. An hour ago, I fell asleep in my chair because I was so tired. I had eaten something, and I'm like, man, I went into a food coma, and I'm like, I'm just tired. I'm just going to sleep for an hour. So I'm sitting in my chair, and I'm watching a replay of a football game on NFL Network, and think it was the Panthers in Atlanta. Not that that matters, but I'm drifting in and out of consciousness, right? And I set my alarm for 6:30. And the more I slept, the more I wanted to sleep. And I'm just kicked back in my chair with my head down, big old pile of drool coming out, just hanging off my shoulder. And I wanted to sleep. That's all I wanted to do. 6:30 hit, that alarm went off. Bam! I woke up, called my girlfriend. I said, dang, going, I got to get ready for my show. I got to go set up. I got to go do this. I got to go do that. And as I got back here and I started working and started getting things set up, everything technological just wanted to go and nothing wanted to work. So I had that thought about just stopping and saying, you know what, I can just do the show next week. But when I did that, something came across my mind and a promise to myself that I made, because when I was making this flyer last night for this show, something hit me about this topic. How many times do we avoid something because we think it'll be easier to put it off until a later time? Now, not just talking about procrastination that we don't want to do something. Okay? We face a problem, whether it's at home, whether it's at work, whether it's at the job, whether it's at school, and we let that problem eat at us. And we don't say anything about it. No, it's fine. It is what it is. It's the way it happens. It's the way it's going to go. Life does not happen like that. And the reason I say that is because I am in charge of my life and you are in charge of yours. Hey, Justin, when you have a problem that bothers you to a point that something needs to be said or something needs to be done, don't just sit there and let the problem pass you by. Now, I want you to think about something beyond this. You ever gotten a paper cut on the end of your thumb or the end of your finger, or a scratch right at the corner of your eye, or you gotten a piece of something in your eye, you try to get that son of a gun out of there, and it just irritates the ever-loving bejesus out of you, and you're like, man, this thing hurts. That's what little problems create. A grain of sand in the bottom of your shoe when you are barefoot can mess you up. You ever had the wind blow and dust fly in your eye and you're like, oh God, oh Jesus, oh God, I gotta get, oh man, you stop what you're doing for that brief second. And everything stops. Life stops. Motion stops, because you have to take care of that problem right there immediately. You itch your eye, you rub your eye, you get a paper towel, you dab it in water, you put eye drops in, you got Visine, whatever it is, you are trying to get to the bottom of that problem. Hey Tony, how are you? The funny part about problems are, just because they're little and they start out at this size doesn't mean that they shouldn't be dealt with. Now, here's where we kind of wrestle with ourselves as individuals. That's not a big deal. That's stupid. I don't need to deal with that. Why am I worrying about that? I'm just going to go with the flow. The problem with flow is it doesn't take much to stop flow. It doesn't take much to put something in the way of the way your life is flowing. Something as simple as a problem at school with a bully. Ignore him, it'll go away. It may. That may be an option. Or he may slam your face into a locker. Trust me, I know, I've had it happen. Sometimes you have to confront your problems head on. Now, when I say confront your problems head on, I don't mean disrespectful. I don't mean be disrespectful, cuss them out, cut them up, break them in half. I don't mean any of that. I'm talking about handling it in a way that it needs to be handled. See, everybody knows what they have to do. The question is, why don't we do it? We convince ourselves that we're not right before we even start. One of the biggest obstacles that we face and one of the biggest problems that we face with us is us. When the problem first starts, we don't diagnose it. We say, what did I do wrong? Right away, we go to what did I do wrong? That what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Why me? We blame ourselves and stop ourselves before we even start. That's true. That's true. There's always a beaver building a dam on that flow. But see, in our lives, and I've said this, our streams don't go like this. Our streams are not smooth moving all the time. They're up, down, up, down, up, down, way up here, way down here, way up here, way down here. Sometimes you have a day at work and you're like, I'm going to kill my boss. Now, you know, in your right mind, you ain't going to kill nobody. But man, that man or that woman done pushed you to the end of your brink and you say, if I got to hear that voice one more time, I'm going to lose it. One more time. But when something bugs you and it sits here, this is how you know the problem needs to be diagnosed. When it sits on your heart or it sits in your spirit and it doesn't go away, and it makes you act differently than you normally do, then that's the question that you say, okay, what is the problem? Now let me tell you, I want to talk about something. Titles. Teacher, boss, vice president, president, executive officer, chief executive officer. Okay? Titles. Black belt, karate master. I don't give two squats about titles because the title does not make me who I am. The title is just there. The black belt I wear in martial arts is just there. I earned it and I went through it and I earned that belt. But I represent the belt that I wear. Now here's the thing. You can try your best to ignore a problem, but if it's one that needs to be dealt with, it's not going to go away. And y'all know the problem I'm talking about. Some of y'all have let this stuff happen and your boss talks to you like you and makes you feel like you're 2 inches tall and yells at you and says, look, do this, don't do that. And you tried being nice. Please don't talk to me that way. I'm going to do what you ask, that kind of thing. And you just let it ride. Let it ride. Some bosses will set you up to fire you. That's what they do. They are there supposedly to help you, but some of them will set you up to fail. You can fail at doing something you don't want to do, but if you're going to fail, you might as well fail at something you love. In that speech, Jim Carrey said that one thing. Let me say it again. You can fail at something that you don't love doing or you don't want to do. So if you're going to fail at something, you might as well fail at doing something you love. Now, I want to put a little bit more on that. I've never considered myself a failure unless I was young and didn't understand that failure is not an option. See, we get in narrow-minded stages where we look at right and wrong. We look at fail or pass. Okay, we look at it as a test. A test necessarily isn't designed to make you pass or fail. A test is designed to make you stronger and to give you more intelligence. Now, the reason I say that is a lot of people will look at me right now and say, you're crazy. The test in school we got graded on. Yeah, you did, okay? But going back to how you look at your life, if you take that 70 that you got and you say, I passed that test with a 70, I got a D, you have already limited yourself. You are not giving yourself credit for passing that test. You're going right where I'm going, Justin. You're going right where I'm going. The only difference in this, we can't be afraid to fail. We have to learn. If you don't learn, you are failing. If you stop learning, you stop trying. You stop trying, you die. That's the way existence goes right there. Life itself, when we start out, when we're little itty babies and we can't hold our head up and we poop and pee in the diaper and we're completely helpless, we depend on everybody. And our brain is going to develop between 1 and 3. That's when the sponge comes up, and that's when everything gets absorbed, and that's when everybody's going, oh my God, they're so smart. He said the word Wawa, and then he said the word water, and then he said the word yes please, and mama, and daddy, and the vocabulary starts building, okay? And that baby picks up everything you do. But that baby's life is not just defined by you. That baby is defined by the influences of you and the other things around it. We're gonna get into boundaries in just a second, but that's very true, Crystal. That's very true. That's when it's time to begin to have boundaries to protect your mental health. Toxic situations are only keeping you from being helpful and honest from the people that need you. Okay. I like what you said there, but be careful of that last line. People that need you. There's always going to be somebody that needs you, and be careful they don't suck the water out of the glass of your life. People that need you can suffocate the ever-living hell out of you. Even your friends, your best friends that you've known your whole life. And they have that title. But when somebody needs you all the time, and if they, now listen to this because this is important, if they don't do something for themselves, that's when, to me, it starts to put a drag on my life. And if something starts to put a drag on my life, I have to change the way it flows. I have to let that person know, listen, I can't be there for you all the time, because sometimes I got to work on me. Not saying I don't want to help. Not saying I don't mind helping. Not saying I don't mind, going to bat with you. See, I cannot be contained because I'm the container. Another thing Jim Carrey said in that speech, you cannot contain the container. Our limitations on ourselves destroy us. It was so powerful. I've seen that speech. I watched that speech 5 years ago 36 times. I watched that speech 36 times. I watched it. Most amazing speech I've ever heard Jim Carrey talk about. And it was directly related to life. How we handle our lives is our choice. When you want to do something, it starts right here. Whatever you want to do in your life, it is the preview of the coming attraction of your life. When you have a dream, when you have a thought in your head that becomes an idea or a dream, and you put it down on paper, then it becomes a goal. Okay, we talked about this on a couple other shows that I did, but I'm kind of going back a little bit because I want to reference this so you can grab a hold of it. How many of you right now have goals written down where you can see them? If you look around where you are, do you have something written down somewhere on a wall, on a fridge, on a table, in a notebook? And is that notebook open? Is that notebook open to your dreams and your thoughts and your wants and your needs? Here's the thing. If you can't see that, it's not helping you. That's why I've said, place your goals and your wants and your dreams where you can see them, where you can read them, where you know that they are constantly in your mind. You know how something constantly gets in your mind? I was talking about it with my girl earlier. You listen to a song, baby shark, doo 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 doo, baby, and you keep listening to that song, and it gets in your head, and you're like, oh my God, I cannot stand that song anymore. That is the key. When I was working on the first CD that I did, My Chair, and we were working on the first song, Tired of Being Me, I played that song over and over and over and over. And I got it in my head to where I knew the rhythm and the rhyme and the feeling and what the song was. But if I can't feel it, I can't do it. But again, that's something that people don't do enough of. They don't get it inside their head. They just think about it for a little bit and let it poof out in the atmosphere. Poof. Dream's gone. You are capable of anything you set your mind to. I've heard that so many times. DJ, there's so much that you can do that you have no idea yet because you put yourself in a box and you frame yourself as to what you think your limitations are. I am limitless. Limitless. The only limitations I have are the limitations I put on myself. And I know some of the way you're sitting in a chair, that's a limitation. No, it's not. My chair is a vehicle, a vessel to get from point A to point B. Doesn't care how long it takes me to get there. Doesn't tell me why, when, or how. Point is, if I don't want to go somewhere, I got to go. I am limitless. Think about that when you dream. No dream should ever be too big for you. No dream. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. If your dreams don't make you go, oh my God, I want to do that. What in the world was I thinking? And you have that moment. Did I see myself sitting here for 3 years doing this, 113 shows just on this platform, and 48 shows on another, and then being a musician and having this thing out here. No, I wanted to do it. I took a chance. I took a chance on something that I loved. I said something earlier in this show that keeps ringing in my head over and over and over again. You can fail at something that you don't want to do. So if you're going to fail, why not fail at something you love? But don't look at failure as that's where you're going to go. Because that's not what I'm talking about. Your life is defined by your own boundaries. So many people want to live their life for somebody else and not realize or care about what they want as an individual. The funny part about our lives is we only get one. But every day that we wake up, it is our life to make that choice. Hey, Kim. Every day that we wake up, it is our choice to say, I'm going to do this today. When I finished my chair, when I finished that album, it was good. I was very proud of it, and I'm still very proud of it. I'm still selling CDs today. But the second album that we have on the way that's going to launch in March, I thought the first one was good. My God, the second one's going to blow this one away. But if that dream in my head stays here and doesn't come outward, I'm suppressing my life. So many people live their lives for other people. I do this because of my child. I do this because of my mom. I do this because of my dad. That's great. But they got you there. You have to step out on your own and break away from that. Not saying leave, just saying your dreams are your dreams. Your dreams don't have to be theirs. There's nothing wrong with having the same dream your dad had. There's nothing wrong with having the same dream your mom had, but not because they want you to have it. See, you've gotta make your life your life. When I leave this world, all I have is what's here. Not the clothes on my back, not the glasses on my face. What's here and here, inside, all of this. This is what goes with me. It goes up there. I don't want to go down there. I want to go up there. I'm going to tell you why. If I do the best I can, that's not a failure. That's who I am. I do the best I can with what I've got, and that's all I can do. And to learn that, that's not a limitation. That's a realization. And when you realize how good, how great, and how wonderful you actually are, and you stop telling yourself, I can never do that, or I could never do that, or that school class is too long, or that test is too hard, and you get off your ass and you start working at it, and you realize, damn, I did that. You can dream. You can have things come to you that you work hard for. Don't let people step on your dreams. Don't let people step on your life and shatter it. We are so society integrated. What does society say about this? Well, look at what people are saying about DJ. Look at what people are doing about. You have to do it because of you. I cannot control anything outside of me. I can't control anything outside of me. No matter how hard I try, I can want the best for people I love. I can want people to stand up for themselves. I can want people to make their dreams come true, but I can't make that happen. I can assist it, because I can give you, if it's advice or if it, based on my experiences of what I've done, I can do that. But the person that applies it is the person that's going after it. Now, I was talking about titles before, going back when we were in school and we got that test and we passed it. We passed it with a D. And the first thing we said, man, I got a D. I sucked at that test. I got to do better. That's a great thought. I got to do better. I want to do better. I can do better. Don't dismiss the little things. Just like the little problems that happen in life, you can't dismiss them. Because if you start dismissing smaller problems, when the bigger ones arise and you start asking your questions of how in the world did this get this big, it started right here. Then it got to here. Then it got to here. Then it got to, and you're like, oh my God, that is the big, no. Those problems that start here, squash them right there. We put our own walls up on ourselves. Whether it's because of our past, whether it's because of a conditioned response, whether it's because of who we, what we've been through, we put walls upon ourselves. But our dreams smash down barriers. I'm a writer, a talk show host, a musician, a gamer, a cook. I'm a public speaker. I'm a YouTube analyst. I'm a CP advocate. I can keep going. And what's amazing to me, folks, is I was comfortable at one point doing one thing. One thing. I've got my one thing. I'm comfortable. I'm good. I don't have to go anywhere else. I can stay right here in this little bubble and nobody's going to get me. I'm just going to stay right here and I'm going to do. Thank you, sweetheart. But see, once you branch out of the comfort zone, guys, comfort is dangerous. Comfort is dangerous, I'm telling you. Don't let yourself get comfortable. It's okay to be comfortable, but don't become complacent. Don't become complacent. Because when you become complacent, you think that you're at the end, when in reality, you're just at the beginning. My goal is to go on tour. I want to go to Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Zimbabwe, New Zealand. I want to sing for thousands and thousands of people. I want to talk to thousands and thousands of people. But if I stop and I stymie my dream and let it go poof out in the atmosphere, what happens? It dies. The only way a dream dies is if you stop it. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Do or do not, there is no try. Master Yoda. It is amazing to me when people say, I tried my best. They haven't even begun to know their best. I remember being in a situation where I had my YouTube and I had my radio show. And I remember sitting with Miss Winnie and talking with her and saying, I'm good where I'm at. But she said, I want to see you try to do this. I'd like to suggest that you do this. Why not try it? And I got angry because all of those things that she suggested that I do, I said, that's too much. I don't have the time. That is our number one excuse. Folks, let me explain something. We have nothing but the time that we have. But we have to make the decision what's the best use of our time. Let me say that again. We have the time. Our number one excuse is I don't have time. Let me ask you a question. When you're hungry, you what? You eat. When you're thirsty, what? You pick up the Dr. Pepper, you put it in there, and you take a sip, right? Because you're thirsty. When you want to talk to somebody, you pick up the phone or you text them. When you want something, you go after it. So stop waiting for your life to happen when you are the initiator of your dream. When you are the initiator of your dream and you stymie it, you are doing nothing but destroying yourself, because all of us, no matter the situation we're in, are capable of doing what we dream about. And don't let anybody tell you you can't, because I'm living proof that you can. I'm living proof that you can do it. My chair doesn't stop me. It's only part of what I am. It's only part of what I am. And I know there are people sitting there saying, you don't understand. I understand. But the choice that I make is to go forward, not backwards. You can't live in the past. So many of us look at our lives as what we are compared to our past. You know what the past was? Just now. That's the past. What I was just talking about was the past, because the only thing we can do is move forward. You can't go back. I spent 15 years of my life trying to go back to Waynesboro, trying to go back to the place I wanted to be. And then when I went back, you know what happened? Everybody was gone. My friends, my family, my church, all of it gone. I wanted to go back to the way it was, but I couldn't. And you know why? Because everybody else moved forward. Tony, that's a hell of a question. My question right now is, I've met all my goals, so why should I want more? Because you are capable of more than your goals. You are a fantastic individual that can bring peace to the world. All you have to do is get up off your butt and do it. You always want more because you're capable of it. Never set yourself there and say, should I want more? Go do more because you're capable of it. Don't stymie yourself in where you're at. It's not just Kansas City that needs you. There are 49 other states that need you. There are things that you want to do in your mind that you've stymied off. And I know because we've talked about it. You are capable of great things. And it's crap like that that irritates me the most. You do a show like this and you've got somebody that's trying their hardest to interfere. You know what? It doesn't work. Plenty of trolls, plenty of people that want to knock you down. You can't knock me down, asshole. I just blocked you. What I am is a fighter. If I get knocked down, I get back up. That's the way that I am. That's the way life is. You can't stay on the ground. People think once you hit the ground, that's the end. No, once you've hit the ground, that's a realization. What do I do now? Where do I go from here? The only thing you have a choice in is, am I going to stay on the ground and sit here and cry about it, or am I going to get up and live my life the way I want to live it? Everything that I do is not just for me. I do live my life for me. I do live my life for me, but I also live it with somebody else. See, it's not the dreams that scare me. It's not the singing in front of 20,000 people that scares me. It's the realization that my dream is about to come true. It's a realization that people in this world are sitting on the edge of their greatness and they stop because they're afraid of what might happen. Please do not be afraid of what might happen and let yourself succeed. Let yourself be what you're supposed to be because it's here. Everything in your mind that is positive are the coming attractions of the rest of your life. And you know what? No one can see what's in here. So that means that no one has the ability to take away your dreams until you start succeeding and they want what you have. But they want what you have because for some reason they may think they can't get it. I went to Waynesboro to meet with friends, and I was going to go to church, and I was going to meet my buddy John and Carl, and I met everybody, John and Carl and Brian. I was there, and I had a good time. But something felt different. Something felt off, and I couldn't understand what it was that was bothering me. I couldn't understand why I was feeling the way I was feeling. I couldn't understand why I didn't feel like the same DJ I was. Because I was different. It took me a while to realize that I wanted to go back, but the only thing I could do was go forward because everybody else already had. John had moved and gotten a house and gotten married. Brian no longer went to the same church. Henry no longer went to the same church. Carl no longer worked the same job. John no longer worked the same job. Life happens because we have to keep moving forward. If you try to live your life the way it used to be, you're never going to grow because you're never going to get anywhere. We have to look at ourselves in the mirror and realize what type of people that we are. And it pains me that there were 15 people up here earlier, 13 people up here earlier listening, and I had it, and it's dropped. Because people get worried when things talk about real issues. When you hit life and they talk about something that hurts them or scares them. Just because it scares you, do it anyway. Sometimes you have to do things in fear to show it who's boss. Because you know what fear does? Fear keeps you on your toes, but also fear can make an enemy of yourself. And you can live your life in that fear and do nothing because of it. But if you let that fear keep you from doing what you love, you're not going to accomplish anything because that fear, unfortunately, has a hold of you. And if that fear has a hold of you, cut it loose, take it off, and go on. I'm an individual that likes to see people succeed. But I'm not going to wait on the bus for you to make up your mind. I'm going to get on the bus and go. I'm going on tour. I'm going to sing. I'm going to perform. I'm going to make new albums. I'm going to make new gaming material. I'm going to make new show material. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep thriving because that is what I want to do. I will take the people that want to go with me and I will leave the ones that don't behind. Got to live in those scary moments. That's what helps you to grow. That is so true, Flint, because you know why? It is in that moment when you succeed in fear and you kick fear in the balls and you show it. Haha, I can do that. I did do that. I did exactly what I was supposed to do at the time I was supposed to do it. And when you leave fear behind and take success, have faith in yourself. Because, like I said, when you dream and you have an option, you have a thought up here, and that thought is put onto paper and it becomes a goal, and you have them, like Flint said, he has his written on a whiteboard. Have them in front of you. What do you want to do? You want to start a YouTube channel? It's not hard. You want to start a singing channel? It's not hard. You want to start a business? Go get a business license. Research it. The internet can tell you anything that you need. They are not committed to the process. When you want to lose weight, you need to work on it. Keep people on that bus moving you forward. But again, that's the key, Tony. If you don't move forward, you don't learn. You can't stay in the same spot. But you are the person that gets on that bus. Because you know why? You make the decision that you want to lose weight, not me. You make this decision that you're going to do it. Don't worry about the other ones that are not committed. Because they're not you. A flower only grows in your garden if it has the right soil, sunlight, water, temperature. You have to prune it. You have to work it. You have to grow it. You have to manipulate it. You have to make it to where it does what it needs to do with the proper nutrients to do what it needs. Same way as human beings. We say we want something, but we don't do the right things to go get it. That's fine. That's fine. You can decide. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But when you make that decision, and when you make that decision affirmatively, and you pray about it, and you say, okay, this is what I want to do. This is the goal I'm going to make. Don't let somebody else stop you by saying you can't do that. It's too hard. Because otherwise, I wouldn't have this show right now. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a CD right now. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a gaming channel. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a cooking show. Because life is hard. Life is hard. But don't stop or you die. That's it. How you look at things and how you determine things is the way that they are. Because you're the one that determines that. When you say you can't, you won't. You stop yourself. There are dreams in every one of us right now sitting up here. All we have to do is speak them into reality. Somebody tell me a dream they want right now. Don't care what that dream is. Tell me. Somebody tell me a dream they want. One dream from somebody up here right now. 7 people. Type something in there somewhere. Somebody tell me something they want right now. Right now. Comments should be flowing. Right now. People should be typing. Those comments should be coming in up, down, left, right. One dream. Somebody on this broadcast, tell me one thing that you want right now. One thing. One thing. Don't harp on it. Open up your mind and let it go. Tell me one thing that you want right now. Speak it into reality and let it happen. Speak it into reality and let it happen. Stop destroying yourself by saying, I can't do it. It's too hard. It's too big. It's not good enough. Then go get it. Then go get it. Then go do it. Make it happen. If that's what you want, take the things that you need to apply and make it happen. You want that cybersecurity analyst job? Go get it. You apply left, right, up, down. Go get it. You want to move closer to family? Get your butt in your car and go. Look at jobs down there. Find a job you want. Find a house you want. Go get it. Well, if you don't put in a lottery ticket, you can't play, can you? See, you can always think of something you want or a reason you can't do it. I guarantee you, you give me a reason you can't do it, I can tell you you can. Before you're really helping anybody else, you've got to know you will and set your issue aside if needed. I can understand that. There's no problem with helping other people. But when it comes to your goals and dreams, Jed, it's about you. It's about you. And I believe that you're going to do it. Flint, I believe that you're going to do it. When you set your mind to something because of the person that you are, you're going to get it to happen. It's going to happen. But you are the person that has to start that ball rolling, and I know you already have. Listen, we can all sit here and say why we can't. We can all sit here and say, this is not going to happen because I don't have the money. I don't have the transportation. I don't. Take one thing you do have and use it. One thing, and it's one of these. If you want something bad enough, go freaking get it. And stop telling yourself you can't. Start dreaming about how you're going to get it. Set up a plan, write it down, stick to it, and get it done. I waited 20, well, goodness, let's see, 38 years to put out a CD. 38 years I waited, and I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it because I knew it was inside. I knew it was here. I knew I wanted it more than anything, and I finally got it done. And now I can't wait to do the next one because it's what I'm passionate about. Find your passion, find your love, and go after it. Stop deterring yourself. Stop limiting yourself. Stop saying I can't, I won't, it's not going to happen, I'm not good enough. I am the best. I am good enough. It is going to happen. I can make it happen. Put positivity in your life and get positivity out of it. Nobody never, Tony, nobody nevers. Your life is still happening. If you want to move across country, then do it. If you have that dream, then do it. Do what you need to do. You're a homeowner. You made that happen. A lot of your dreams have come true. Stop saying the word never. Get off your butt and get it done. I know you. Sometimes all it takes is a fire under your butt to get you moving. And that's the truth. We can think of all the reasons why we didn't or haven't. You know, now that it came out, yeah, it was. I can see why at this point it took that long. Because I had to put so much into it. To go through this world and dream, all you have to do is ask for it. But you have to ask for it in 3 places. Up there, in here, and up here. Because once you lock it down and once you give yourself the opportunities to succeed, it will happen. All the people in the world that are against you can tell you you can't. But I'm going to show you you can. There's nothing I can't do. Nothing. The only thing that I can't do is the things I don't let myself try. The only home runs I don't hit are the ones I don't swing at. Take care, Flint. Thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate it. Everybody that was part of this show today, I want you to take a few minutes when I get off the air and evaluate yourself. Find something good inside yourself and run with that. Find one dream, no matter how small, no matter how big, no matter how hard you think it is. If it's something that you really want, if it's something that you really care about, and it's something that you want to see happen, go make it happen. And stop telling yourself you can't, you won't, it's too hard. You are great. You are made to be great. Go achieve it for once in your life. Do something that you want to do. Don't listen to everybody else. Be great and achieve what you were born to be. Make your dreams come true because nobody else can do it for you but you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the show today. My CP does not define me. You guys are great. I couldn't do this show without you. Thank you to all my fans, all my commenters. A lot of emails have been coming in. I've got some new guests. I've got a phenomenal guest next week, Miss Rachel. She's got a brand new communications device that's launching, and we're going to be talking about that for people who are nonverbal. So you guys be up here and actually come check it out. It is going to be amazing. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being part of this. I always say, if you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. This is D to the J with a roll away saying we'll see you next week for episode 114 of My CP Does Not Define Me. Take care, everybody.
All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this week's episode of My CP Does Not Define Me. As always, you can catch us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, live on the Disability Global Broadcast, Facebook Live, and on www.letgoradio.net. Also, if you haven't already checked out our YouTube channel, My CP Does Not Define Me, where we post all of our show's episodes in our My CP playlist. As always, I'm your host, D to the J with the roll away. If you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. We'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody.